Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Friday, June 9th, 2023. I am your guest host for today, SanchoWest, alongside my co-guest here, Chloe Naylor. Hey, how you doing, Chloe?
Hi, I'm good. How are
Well,
you, Sancho?
I'm doing well. I mean, when Greg messaged me out the blue saying, hey, do you want to host Kind of Funny Games Daily? I felt like, sure, why not, Greg? How was
Yeah.
it for you when he reached out to you?
Oh man, it was like, why is Greg Miller texting me? Oh, Games Dailies. Yeah, sure.
Sure, Greg, why not? Not only is the most important games daily in a long time, considering Summer Game Fest just happened yesterday, so we got a lot to cover. But hey, we're kind of funny best friends, just like y'all, and I'm shocked to be here after so many years. I guess I want to do something a little bit different from the people that are used to the whole rigmarole that they always do at the very beginning. That's a little getting to know you segment, Chloe. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I am a gamer dad. I got two awesome kids. My latest win as a gamer parent is my 5-year-old recently beat King Bomb in Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 64. So that it's a huge W. And my kid sings Peaches, and he's 1 year old. So that to me, it's an instant dub all around. And I am not only that, I'm a professional caster for esports and things of that sort. And you may see me on, Kind of Funny here and there, popping up in review. But yeah, very excited to be here. And my favorite game, I guess I would have to throw is SOCOM 2. It's a different pick than a lot of people are used to. Chloe, let's get to know you a little bit.
I am a Twitch streamer, definitely professional, definitely pro gamer. I play so many video games. I definitely don't spend my time on Twitch crocheting little animals.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I make bees, I make fish. It's a great time. My favorite video game. That is a tough one. Probably my go-to answer is Portal 2.
Portal 2.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. Barrett, your favorite video game? You're part of the trio right now, Barrett.
Oh, well, the kids know me, but and they know the answer is Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
yeah,
There you go.
I'm just like a one-note motherfucker over here in the back end.
Hey, we will talk more about that Persona. And we got so many awesome stories, like the Legend of Zelda movie from Illumination, the best and worst of Game Fest, Persona leaks. See there, Barrett? See, that was right there. And more, because this is the Kind of Funny Games Daily each and every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, live right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through all the nerdy news that you need to know. And of course, if you're watching live, you get to do the ultimate thing of correcting us by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, which I most likely will happen, Chloe. I mean, we're probably gonna get
yeah, totally. Hey, I'm a professional gamer. I mean, I'm gonna get all my facts right. Nobody's gonna have to say anything.
Absolutely. And hey, and if you don't want to watch live, you could totally watch later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. And hey, you could also listening on podcast services. What is it? Around
the globe.
There it is, the globe, by searching for Kind of Funny Games Daily. And remember, you can support Kind of Funny Games by checking out the Epic creator code Kind of Funny on all Epic Store and Epic in-game purchase. We're talking about Rocket League and Fortnite to help support the channel. Of course, if you want to be a part of the show, kindoffunny.com/KFGD to write in your questions and squad ups and more. And remember that good old patreon.com/kindoffunny will get you the show ad-free. And this is my favorite word that they say, Chloe, a bevy of bonus content.
Ooh.
That's fancy.
It is fancy. Look at that bevy.
A good bevy. All I can think about is cheeky Nando's now. I mean,
yeah, exactly. We're British now, guys.
I swear we're Gregites. I mean, everything that Greg says, I say on a daily, and I think it's a problem. It's a problem.
He's influencing your mind.
He is. Of course, housekeeping, such a fun thing that we have here. Kind of Funny's Summer Game Fest. I know we're probably logging on and hoping to get the crew's opinion. Well, don't worry. They reacted to it yesterday, and it's up right now on YouTube as a Gamecast. So you definitely want to check that out. Also, the Summer Game Fest celebrations are continuing right now this weekend, and they're going to have live reactions to the Xbox Game Showcase, the Ubisoft Forward, and more. So you definitely want to stay tuned on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and of course twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames.
And
So
quick
that
editor's
is all
note
that.
there. We got
yeah.
our live reactions got taken down
Oh,
for the Summer
Lord.
Game Fest because NBC clapped us for
Wow.
what was it, Twisted
Peacock?
Metal?
Wow.
Oh yeah. And so, but
Wow.
that is back up. We cut it out, and so the stream version of that VOD is back up over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames/streams. So there you go.
Wow. Peacock. One thing I want to ask you, Chloe, we'll take a slight detour. What do you think about that Twisted Metal, a little reveal that they have here with Will Arnett introducing his little bit there?
Was so confused. I'm a baby. I didn't know what Twisted Metal was until yesterday, and I didn't know it was based on a game.
No, by all means. I mean, Twisted Metal, like I'm OG, right? So Twisted Metal, I remember playing on the PlayStation days, and for me, I feel like Twisted Metal is one of the OG battle royales when it comes. If you really think about it, it's a very OG battle royale type style. But we'll get more on that later. But my favorite comments was that everybody on the internet was talking about it was very UPN-y, very CW.
Yeah,
That.
I definitely got that vibe.
Got that vibe. Well, hey. Today's the day also that you could vibe with Greg Miller as your manager in WWE 2K23. Grab him now in My Faction and tell 2K you want him in the next game's My Rise. That is very fun if you want to have Greg as your manager. And only on YouTube in the live stream, there's going to be, of course, a 30-minute post show where Barrett is going to help us out here and going to read that super chat so you could be sure to be. Hey, there's Greg. Ooh, that suit is fire. That suit is fire.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that he dressed up just like Wade Barrett, though? Bad News Barrett?
Whoa, really?
I don't know who that is.
He is the antithesis of you, Barrett, because you're a good boy. You know, Good News Barrett. You know what I mean? That's Bad News Barrett.
Okay. Well, it sounds cool. You know, it sounds cooler to be Bad News Barrett, you know?
Yeah, I'm afraid you have some bad news. That's some definitely for the wrestling fans out there. And of course, lastly, thank you to the Patreon producers, Casey Andrew, Delaney Twinning, James Hastings, and today we are brought to you by Amazon, Shady Rays, and BetterHelp, but we'll tell you more about that later. Chloe, I've been waiting for this all week to say this. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Hit him with it, Chloe. You gotta take it. You gotta take it. It's time for some news. We have Barrett. How many news do we have today, Barrett?
That's you.
14.
A baker's dozen.
Honestly, though, for real, everybody, we have a whole bunch. We have a whole bunch of news because yesterday
seven.
There it is. 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 7, Chad. Everybody, 7. Real cool. Number 1 on the Roper Report: The Legend of Zelda movie is coming from Illumination. Eddie Fu at Consequence Film writes, Universal Pictures has set the sights on The Legend of Zelda as its next big video game movie adaptation. According to Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder, Universal is in the process of closing a deal with Nintendo and the animation studio Illumination, where Chad. That was my impression of a minion.
No, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Quote, I'm told that Universal is in fact closing a big deal with Nintendo Corporation on The Legend of Zelda. And the latest episode of the Hot Mic podcast, Zelda is looking like the next big Illumination Nintendo franchise, which we're all sort of expecting when I'm told that is happening. He went on to say that it will cost Universal a pretty penny following the massive success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which has raked in over $1 billion worldwide on its way to becoming the highest grossing video game movie adaptation. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, being the highest grossing video game adaptation, considering that there's not that many. What would you have to be? What's your guess, Chloe? Would be the one that it beat?
Jeez, it's a very low bar.
Extremely low bar.
Recently that comes to mind is Uncharted, because everyone loves Tom Holland. So
good point. Everybody loves Tom Holland. Chloe, how do you feel about the prospect of the next Nintendo project being The Legend of Zelda?
That is interesting. I wonder if they can pull it off. I did see a very good tweet that Illumination shouldn't do it. A very good Zelda movie would be by Studio Ghibli.
Oh, okay. That's a valid point. That is a valid point.
It would look great.
I mean, the thing about it is that what is your reservation entire notion of Zelda though? Like, what are you feeling?
I am a fake gamer. I've never played a Zelda game ever.
Okay, but no,
Yeah.
but you know Studio Ghibli, so
I do.
Ghibli, what would you think that they could bring to the art style of Zelda?
I think it would just look very pretty, like very like take like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and that
Mhm.
whole like it would just look stunning, great. I feel like you get away better with Link not talking because I feel like it's a little
Really?
different in like a Ghibli movie versus Illumination.
That's true. I
Different
mean, he
vibes.
will probably have to be a little bit quippy. I don't know if he'll be
Yeah.
as awful as the animation of the Zelda show, which my my 5-year-old tends to watch. She's like, "Daddy, it's gonna come on Friday. This is the Super Mario show. It's on Prime anyway." And she's like,
Mhm.
"Daddy, it's gonna come on Friday. What is this?" I was like, "This is the Adventures of the Legend of Zelda," and he has this like, "My name is Zelda." Barrett, you know what I'm talking about.
Well,
Barrett,
excuse me, princess.
there it is.
There you
There
go.
it is.
God.
There it is.
Fucking awful.
Chat says Michael Sarah as Link. Foxy Steve.
Hey
I
man.
don't think
Hey
so.
man, it's just me. I'm Link.
Listen, man, it was a different time back in the day. Barrett, as our residential Zelda expert, how do you feel about this news?
I think it sucks. I'm gonna be honest.
Sucks?
Yeah, like here's the thing: Illumination as a pick for Mario, whatever. You know, Mario is a very basic world, characters, and story. I ended up watching the Mario movie. Actually, hold on, let me put there. Here I am.
Hey, there he is.
I watched the Mario movie at home like a few weeks back, and it was cute. It was fine. You know, the licensed music was weird, really weird, especially when you know like what music was actually made for that movie that got cut, which is like really weird decisions. I think they're a weird fit for Zelda. Like I've said for years, I would love a Gendy Tartakovsky led Zelda project. That's if you don't know, who was kind of back in like the Cartoon Network heyday, making Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, but most notably Samurai Jack, which I think that vibe for a Zelda story, I think would fit really well without having to make Link talk, because while Jack talked a little bit, it was a very quiet kind of show for a lot of the episodes, right? And so I think something like that would fit more with telling a Zelda story. Here, it's like I think I tweeted this out where it's, you know, people who really want Link to talk and really missed him talking in Tears of the Kingdom for whatever reason. They're gonna regret it when Timothée Chalamet voices him in this movie, and there's gonna be some lines. So you're telling me, Princess, that there's this thing called the Triforce? That high rules. And that's my take. That's my take.
All right, I hear that, but I mean, I think that, I mean, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to the success of Illumination had with the Nintendo property of Mario, and I think that they could totally build a Nintendo universe at NCU. Yes, NCU. They would be able to make it all together, and I feel like it should be within Illumination. I, for one, when it comes to the Mario movie, I enjoyed the Nintendo and the Illuminationness of it. There's a lot of Illumination type jokes, and especially the animals and things of that sort. So I'm a big fan of that movie. I've probably seen it 25 times because of my children. But when it comes to having it in one house, come on, y'all. We all know that it's going to build up to the possibility of having Smash Brothers, right? Come on. Can we have an in-game for Nintendo, Chloe? Please?
Let's do it. Endgame version with video game characters. I love it.
Exactly. Chris Pratt's going to say, let's go. And then everybody's just going to come out of the portals. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be so emotional.
It's going to be so emotional. But of course, big W if Illumination can do it. I feel that it's in good hands. Next story here on the Rope Report, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth headlines Summer's Game Fest. So chatting out there and all those listeners, we are going to go through the entire Summer's Game Fest. We're going to take a pit stop if anything that we find interested. Now, the fellas at the crew over there at KFGD, they already did all this. And as Barrett said, that they had to do some edits and things of that sort. So we're going to talk about our favorites, least favorites. Chat by all means. Let's go ahead and keep this like a great conversation between all of us, because we're all here as part of the Kind of Funny Games Daily. First up on the docket that was announced, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which will be hitting the stores, the shelves on January 18th, is coming to Switch, all PlayStations, all Xbox, Epic, and Luna. And it says that Ubisoft says the new Prince of Persia is inspired by a Metrovania structure. The lead studio is Ubisoft Pilar. Pilar. There it is. There it is. A French word. Greg would have probably nailed that one. So what do you think about Prince of Persia and its new art style, this new old school 2D? There it is, as Barrett pulls it up.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think it looks very cool. Huge fan of the movie, only because of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Just,
But yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I gotta stay on brand. I think it looks very neat.
It does look very neat. I find it interesting that there is a call for nostalgia when it comes to 2D platformers and things of that sort. I think their main goal for Prince of Persia is to be able to have this wild cannon shot to be able to cover all. I mean, to have it on the Switch would be a huge win. The most interesting thing is I'm not quite sure how I felt having Prince of Persia as the first thing to be shown. I mean, in general, I feel like the Summer's Game Fest was in a weird spot, which we'll kind of get into. I didn't hear what their take was because I wanted to have my own fresh take. But I feel like it was a bloated show because there was not that much scene shown. I feel like Jeff Keighley got away with a lot of the other Summer Game Fest and taking Halo Infinite away from Xbox. And I think a lot of the studios and the developers and all those publishers and things of that sort decided to keep a lot close to the vest for their own showcases. I mean, who knows what Xbox and Ubisoft is going to show, Chloe?
Right, exactly. At least I feel like it sets expectations a little bit lower. So, but at least if something cool comes later, we'll be like, oh, cool. Makes us feel better.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I felt that he was trying to get ahead of saying, hey, at the end, there's going to be something good. Like he literally said, yo, stick around because there's going to be a surprise. I mean, granted, there was not that many leaks for this one. There was probably one or two. But as I was watching the show, and I, for one, I'm happy that it's here. I'd rather have something than nothing. But I felt that it was trying to be a little bit of E3, and it was trying to be that. Remember that time when they had it in that remote studio, and they had the devs come in and they talked about it. I felt that overall, as a presentation, that it felt very disjointed, but still had a lot of good stuff. There was still a lot of that commercialism that you need to have to be able to have a show. And I felt like you could tell that it was kind of disjointed because the audience felt like, well, where's the hype, right? You know, the Cyberpunk had that big pop moment that one time at a showcase. And I felt like starting off with Prince of Persia was like, oh, okay, cool.
I was just like, oh, yeah, that's neat. Usually you start off with a banger and you end with a banger. And this one was like,
right.
Okay.
Right. I thought the banger to start off with was this next one is Mortal Kombat, which I'm highly interested in. And it was really cool to see the gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1. And they kind of broke that down a little bit. We got a little bit of a deep dive. For those of you Mortal Kombat Maniacs, that's not a thing. For y'all out there who are big fans of it and who love to spell things with the letter K instead of C, they have a new system called cameos, and the cameos allow you to bring an assistant player into it by hitting left bumper or right bumper, and they bring you in for a little bit of time that could come into chain combos. The one interesting thing that I liked about this as someone who plays a lot of fighters and who loves Street Fighter 6 right now, which is probably by far one of the best fighting games I've ever played in my life, I feel, Chloe, that Mortal Kombat 1 has a lot to kind of get up to that level of not only standing out on its own, but introducing new players. Because as you can see, this stuff looks mad complicated.
Oh yeah, like if you're just coming into fighting games, you're like, I'm gonna button mash. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, I totally agree. But the good thing is that what Mortal Kombat does do better than Street Fighter is the story. I mean, already Ed Boon kind of got in the story of it, and a little bit of spoilers from the original one is that Liu Kang basically reset the time, so all your familiar characters are going to be doing something different. But the original story of the Mortal Kombat in the previous iteration, Mortal Kombat 11, it was really good, and it harps on nostalgia, and I think that is what makes Mortal Kombat so good. And this is why I think that it should have been the original thing to start the show.
I definitely agree. It's definitely the more hype of these first two.
Of course, and you got Ed Boon out there being, you know, the staple, the elder statesman of the entire video games industry, the founder almost, it feels like. He's kind of like a Reggie when he shows up. My question for you, and not only chat as well, is did you enjoy when he came out, though, and it felt like the show kind of stopped in for take a little bit of an intimate look at Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah, I feel like, I do like the idea of Mortal Kombat starting the show, but I do feel like the dev interview definitely slowed things down when this should be the time to like, okay, build up hype, trailer,
right?
Then dev interviews.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like what is what are they trying to do? Like, are they trying to be an E3 hype piece, or are they trying to be a little bit different and look into this intimately? I know all the fighting people, the FGC community, absolutely love, and they could literally watch this and be like, oh, you could do that, you could do a wall bounce, you could confirm all these kind of. But as someone who's just casually strolling by, I'd wish that they kind of use the dev. I don't know, like maybe a secondary show that is kind of like post show. But
Yeah. It's a hard balance. I think they're still trying to feel out what works for the show.
Exactly. I like that. And of course, one of the highlights is Jean-Claude Van Damme as Johnny Cage. I love me some JCVD. And there's nothing like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I highly recommend watching the movie JCVD. It's a great movie. All right, so I'm going to rattle off some of the titles, and Chloe, if you want to stop me, you let me know, okay?
You got it.
All right. Path of Exile 2 is going to come out, and you're going to find out more in July 28th. You have a kind of a collab with Exo Primal in Street Fighter 6, which is basically cyborgs in Street Fighter. So it's going to be a fun little collab. Cyborg Ryu, Chloe, that's a W. You look awesome.
That's true. I have to shout out everyone. It's like, Chloe likes robots. You're right.
There's more to Chloe than her liking robots, everybody.
Exactly, guys. There's a specific type of robot. Ryu doesn't really fit that for me. Sorry.
Sorry, Ryu. You got bearded Ryu for the win, but this thing is a bearded cyber Ryu. How many things are we going to throw at everybody when it comes to Ryu and Guile? So this is going to be a crossover between the game Exo Primal, which is coming out in Street Fighter. Most likely you're going to have outfits in this. This is not the only time we've seen a crossover between two games underneath the same umbrella. Epic Games did it with Fall Guys and Fortnite. Dead by Daylight, Nicolas Cage, July 25th. See on console. Oh, that got to pop out of you. Tell me about it. What's exciting about this?
Because it's Nicolas Cage. That was so fun to see him, and he seemed like actually like genuinely excited to be there. And he was, talking about it. He's not just like showing up. He's like, "Hey, I did something. I'm gonna go." Yeah. He was like actually, engaging with Jeff. And I only wish he was a killer, but
I know.
I do also like the idea of 4 Nicolas Cages running around in a map.
It's such a good thing. I mean, this totally, of course, if you don't know, he's playing a heightened version of himself as an actor who shows up to set, and he's in a horror movie. He talked about in this interview that he's a big fan of horror movies, and he really is. This dude is a movie buff. This guy knows almost everything, and that's what I love about listening to him talk. And you're right, he did command the entire room at the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles. The one thing that I feel, 2 things, Chloe. One, everybody universally, as someone who's been a presenter and host on a stage, fist bump. Everybody needs to say fist bump. It's a universal language because they had an awkward handshake, and that's always
You never want to. Oh no, it sticks with you forever.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does. It's like a chocolate pretzel. It sticks with you forever. And you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, there it is. There it is. All right. Anyway, but the point is, Nicolas Cage, amazing. Now, are you a fan of Dead by Daylight?
Yes, I play it sometimes, but I'm a fan of it. Yeah, it's a good time with friends.
I feel strange saying this, but when they showed the gameplay of it, I was like, It was kind of a
little to be desired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh, you get to fuse, and when I sigh and I grunt, I really wanted to feel like we're being, the idea of surviving together with your friends. It really attracted me." And he was like really selling it. I'm like, "All right, Nick Cage, let's go." And then when they show the gameplay and he has this stoic face, I'm like, "Man, you're robbing this man of literally all the talent it could be."
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like a Leon situation with the Leon in the game where he's very vocal.
Listen, I understand, Chad. I see where it says you gotta understand Dead by Daylight. I truly understand Dead by Daylight, but I agree with Chloe. He should have been a killer. Come on. I wanted to hear the lines, first person, immersive. He talked about fusing, be immersed with that first person with 100%. He should have been a killer.
It would have been very cool.
Have you seen An Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with him and Pedro Pascal?
I have seen the memes.
You should definitely check that out. I mean, that will probably give you a taste of what he's going to be in the game. All right, next thing, Witcher Season 3 was teased there with Henry Cavill. Was pretty much his last run as The Witcher. Of course, he's going to be replaced. That's going to come out on June 29th. And then they kept up with the Witch theme. Witchfire is going to come out September 20th, and that's early access launch. And going from that fire to Crossfire, which is a PlayStation VR 2. I know some of my people are hyped about that. Comes out August 2023. Remnant from the Ashes 2. And this is the one I probably we're going to take a pit stop on.
Yeah.
Sonic Superstars.
Yeah.
That was a
so
good
cool.
bop, as we're seeing. Yes. Sonic Superstars is coming out fall 2023. And talking about a nostalgia pick, Chloe. When he crossed over into that new art style, I fell in love again.
Oh, I know. It was so cool. I'm so excited for this. I love Sonic. Sonic games.
It totally feels like they're pulling from, that Mario 3D Land type vibe. But still, it's such a look at that. If you're watching viewers, it is such an amazing, it's a good taste. It's a tasteful remake. You know what I mean? It's a tasteful glow up. And I love it.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
I was thinking about Blessing, and I was hoping that they would enjoy. But there's something about it that I feel, just like a healthy Xbox is good for the console community, a healthy Sonic is important for gaming. I mean, he needs to be one of the big mascots that he always been. So this is a 2D classic. Sonic platforming is reimagined for the current generations, has new zones, new music, and of course, the big thing is the UHD visuals, only possible with 3D graphics. So that's what I have here. You could play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy Rose, and you could take on Dr. Eggman. So there's just so many good things about it, and I cannot wait because it has that playful nature that all the other Mario got. Why not Sonic? Sonic deserves it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? And of course, the big highlight though was that co-op multiplayer gameplay.
Yes. That is very exciting.
Local 4-player co-op, so fans can enjoy solo cooperatives. So that is definitely going to be something that I'm definitely stoked for. And as someone that is itching to get into Sonic, I feel like this is going to probably be one of the most approachable Sonics in a long time.
For sure. The only thing I wish is that the co-op was also not only local, it was online too. Yeah.
It's always that thing, I feel like when it comes to, there's certain check boxes for multiplayer that it has to hit. And it's so interesting. It's either local or online, but totally I wish it was online as well. 100%.
Yeah. I've got friends all over the place I would love to play it with, but I can also see why they didn't do online. You're moving so fast, maybe online can't keep up.
Too fast for the internet speeds,
Exactly.
Chloe, that was a good one. I did not even see that coming. Honkai Star Rail for PlayStation 5 is going to come out later this year. Now, this one is, I saw a lot of people get hyped for a lot. Lies of P, the Soulsborne type of beat with Demon, all the Elden Ring fans galore. What do you think about this one, Chloe?
Love playing as a Timothy Chalamet-like.
That's two Timothy references we've had today.
Exactly. We're huge Timothy fans here.
We're huge Timothy fans.
It's interesting. I'm very intrigued by it. I might give it a shot because now I have recently learned Soulsborne and Souls-like games are kind of fun.
All right. Well, what was the game that put you over the edge? Which one of it? Was it
It was Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. All right. Yeah. Were you able to what's your favorite water cooler moment of Elden Ring?
Ooh. I just like asking, what's your favorite boss?
Ooh.
Try to feel out, okay, where are you at in the game? Okay. I'm on the last boss. I'm so close to finishing the game.
All right. So what is your favorite boss that you have in mind?
Probably it annoyed me so much, but I really liked the Malekith fight.
Okay. It's always that steady balance of being annoyed, right? That's what makes these games awesome. Of course, they were talking about if you're watching here, it's like a little Pinocchio type. It's very whimsical though. It has that kind of not necessarily hardcore Tim Burton type style, but it has that kind of like a morose type, not morbid maybe, but it's a very whimsical style because he's a puppet at first. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. It does have a steampunk aesthetic to it too, which I think is a huge win. But this is definitely going to be something that feeds those Bloodborne people that are just itching to get their hands on something, and especially the Elden Ring. So yeah, if you're looking right now, that definitely does look like a Timothy Chalamet type fight. Look at him.
Oh yeah. I did try this out last night.
Okay.
For the demo that's available on I think all platforms except for Switch because I don't think it's coming to Switch. Really fun. Yeah, if you enjoy Bloodborne especially, it really just feels like a a Bloodborne kind of carbon copy, even when like down to the menus, kind of like the city layout, the aesthetic that you were talking about, Sancho. Kind of the creepiness vibes, I would say, are less like Bloodborne and more like BioShock and Batman Arkham Asylum, if that makes sense. A lot of just the kind of the puppets in the game are like kind of like these weird mechanical robots that you're fighting, and that gives a little bit of like maybe like a little bit of the creepiness of BioShock Infinite a little bit, and then you have like the nice lady voice talking to you over the megaphone when you're in the creepy train station, and that gave me like Arkham Asylum vibes a little bit. Really fun. I got through the first boss last night. It's a pretty lengthy demo. I was surprised by it.
Nothing like a good demo. Nothing like a good demo.
Yeah, nothing like a good lengthy demo. And so, yeah, I only got through the first boss last night. And even though I don't think it's as like in depth as a Bloodborne, it still gives that Soulsborne kind of hype when you get through a boss. Like after you go through it a few times, you're like, I know I can do this. I don't feel like I need to go out and grind for more levels. I think I can do this right now. It definitely gives that satisfaction. So I think this is going to be one to look out for sure.
All right. I wouldn't be... Nitro Rifle will be upset at me. Andy Cortez is, how's the parry system? Is it pretty solid? Barrett?
It was one of those, like, I only played for like an hour and a half to 2 hours last night, and it was one of those, like, I think I gotta get used to it kind of things. There's like the guard, and then there's the perfect guard when you just like kind of defend yourself. You still take damage, but you take less damage, and that damage you can re-earn by following up attacks like Bloodborne. But if you do a perfect guard, you take, I think, like no damage or maybe even less damage, something like that. I didn't find, at least from what I played, like a parry that let me like follow up with like a crazy attack or anything like that. There is a kind of a build-up system to taking out like stamina, but they call it like when an enemy gets groggy, you can follow up with like a heavy attack and like really like follow up with some. And I loved that they called it like the groggy meter or some shit like that. It was really funny.
Cute.
And so there seemed to be some. I don't know if they want to be exactly like the other Souls games. Maybe there is like more of a traditional parry in that sense, but it's something that I either didn't come across or didn't know how to do successfully enough. So, and my one critique is that the enemy reads are kind of weird with just like,
oh, I hate that.
Winding up attacks, whether it's going to be like a really slow attack or fast attack, of just like being able to tell like what is the right kind of time. There's usually like a good visual cue for that in other Souls games, but I wasn't getting the hang of that here. And so, and the health system is a little weird with the whole guarding thing I was talking about, but I do like it more than the Bloodborne item management stuff where, like, if you run out of blood vials and bullets, like, after going after a boss a few times, you have to go back into the world and kind of grind out for those. Didn't love that with Bloodborne. I think it's something a little bit more my pace here, but, some critiques for you.
Nice. All that from an hour and a half, chat. That is what's amazing. Demos need to come back. Next here that we have here is Sandland, which was built in the Unreal 5, which is Akira Toriyama, which is the creators of Dragon Ball Z. They had that vibe about it. Out in the desert, it's like humans and demons together. That one kind of had a fun times to that. All Xboxes, all PlayStations, all Steam. And of course, Annapurna Showcase is June 29th. You're hype about that. Yeah.
I love Annapurna games.
Tell me about it.
I made a tweet about it during my live tweeting session. I'm like, I am an Annapurna fan first and a human second. I love them.
So what's your favorite one to play, or which one that you'd be like, hey man, you're not into Annapurna yet, but this game's the one that's going to be the one that gets you going?
I will always and forever recommend Sayonara Wild Hearts. I love that game, and I will always replay it.
Now there it is. There's a tweet.
Thank you. There it is. Yeah.
20 likes. 20 likes.
Games are always so pretty. They're
very
so
much so. And it's so interesting though that they have built enough for the showcase. And forgive me, go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong if I'm wrong on this. Is this their first showcase that they've had? Is this the first I feel like I've heard of it?
Maybe I feel like they've done something before, maybe as
Hmm.
part of like an indie game showcase, but
Hmm.
They did one last
There you
year,
go.
and
There you go.
2 years ago. 2021 might have been the first year that they did it.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so they're becoming like their own kind of Bethesda type thing where they could do their own thing eventually. So that's very
Nice.
interesting, or Ubisoft. So that's very interesting. Throne and Liberty is going to be right now. They're live testing and available. You could sign up right that for it. And you know what I noticed throughout this entire Summer Game Fest is that there's a lot of the same theme of these dungeon crawlers,
Yes.
WoW type beats, Final Fantasy, and
There
there's
are a
like a
lot of
slew of them.
medievally fantasy type.
Medievally,
Yeah.
we're gonna
I
get the
thought this one
crew.
looked pretty cool though. You turn into like a bird or something and magic and stuff.
I feel like there's always got to be that little bit different. Hey, this was different
It's
though.
just like, hey, you can turn into a bird.
This one you turn into a bird. But I feel like the games industry always has the same kind of theme. Like I
Yeah.
remember just a couple of years, like a year ago, I felt like we're now doing first person shooters, but it's not really with modern weapons, it's with magic, and you're going in the demon world, kind of like Doom. So it's so interesting that everyone is coming out with the same kind of vibe. But I think it's because of the success of Elden Ring that everyone has this kind of thing. It's like, what if we took Elden Ring, maybe stripped it down a little bit to make it a little bit more approachable, a little bit more of that Final Fantasy, and a little bit of the more of that active WoW into it. But I was just by then when this hit in the show, I was like, huh, there's a lot of medievalists going around.
Yeah, and then
here.
I noticed there's like quite a few later. I had like I was watching with my boyfriend, he was watching on mute and he was like, "Oh, what was that one game? It was like medieval like." I'm like, "You have to be a little bit more specific. I don't know which one." There was a lot.
There's like 10 of them. And Warhaven is like a massive MMO that looked pretty cool as well. Then it goes into like a couple of commercial type of things with party animals and things like that. Crash Team Rumble, Dying Light, la da 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 da. Here's the one that is the next staple. Alan Wake 2. Ooh, man. I'm
I will
excited for this
have
game.
a lot of fun watching Let's Plays. I'm too much of a baby to play it myself.
When I was doing a live reaction, I was like sitting there, I was like, there's something about seeing the FBI jacket that makes you go like, hey, this is gonna be a thriller. This one's
Yeah.
gonna be like true detective type beat. And I am absolutely enamored with it. I think what's interesting as well, Chloe, is that considering that more and more people are getting into true crime, that this is the perfect like recipe for people to get into an immersive experience. Especially with the success of Resident Evil 4 remake, which is kind of has that over the shoulder type beat to it as well.
Exactly.
But wow, why do you want to play it? It's not bad.
I'm very, very bad. If any game is even slightly scary, I'm like, I can't play it. I'll watch and I'll maybe cover my eyes, but
Well, the interesting thing is, from what I understand here, is that the devs were talking about that you could, because they had another dev interview right before they announced it, is that you could go into different POVs of the two main characters. So maybe you don't even have to go to this POV. You know,
it's true.
you could
We'll
stay
play
on the other side.
The most normal Alan Wake playthrough. It's like you don't experience anything scary or supernatural at all. It's just like, oh, it's a FBI simulator.
Exactly. I think what also gives me the true detective vibes is the animal head that was in the
Yes.
first season. Oh, such a good season, by the way. But yes, October 17th. I mean, Halloween is looking pretty stacked. There's a
It
couple
does.
of good games that are going to come out during Halloween. September Halloween. It's going to be a doozy of a fall. Next game we have Warhammer Space Marine 2. Yes, your Gray Snowfall, which looked very pretty. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Now, this was cool. I think when you add the name John Carpenter to anything, it's going to perk my ears a little bit.
Exactly. It's like, ooh, what's this?
It better have synthwave music. It better hit with that bass, like don 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 don. That's what I want. One of the things when it comes down to make on the video game level, Chloe, is that it looks like what Redfall was supposed to be, but with zombies.
But with zombies.
And I wonder if they saw what happened with Redfall, and they're like,
we could do that better. Let's try our spin. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you got this. I mean, Ragtag Group. I kind of got a Bad Company vibe from it as well. But this looks great. I mean, it looks like a very immersive co-op experience, and it just looks so chaotic. I love this.
It does.
Military type kind of brigade going into these hordes and hordes of whatever they call them.
Yeah. Almost
just-
like a little bit like Left 4 Dead, like, oh,
Yeah.
group of friends, huge hordes of zombies.
Right.
I love the part where they're all singing badly, like, oh yes, finally like some good gamer dialogue that's accurate.
I'm glad they didn't do the thing where they get like influencers and be like, hey, are you gonna go ahead and pick up that stem? I got you, man, no problem.
I can't. It kills me every time. It's so funny though.
Hey, not gonna lie though, John Carver's House Commando came up to me like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, you got it.
It's just like, yeah, I'll be like, hey man, can you pass me a health pack? Thanks, bro.
No problem,
do that.
Chloe. I got you. Barrett, you got my back, bro?
I got your back, bro.
Hey man, watch your six. There's a huge zombie man.
Where's the drop, guys?
And then you go, and the trailer ends.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey guys, let's do a recut of the trailer. Add our voices. We're good.
I'm down. I am totally down. Baldur's Gate 3 is August 31st, and then he gets into Spider-Man 2. Now, here's the thing. When I think about this part, Chloe, why show up with just the date? Give me something different. Give me like at least cut something from the. I know it's a PlayStation game, but at least give me a first look at Venom or something, just to
Yeah,
get
a little-
sink my teeth
little bit
into.
more. Like thank you for the crumbs of the date, but I need a little bit more.
I mean, we got a concept art of Venom, and you gave me the date again, October stacked. But I felt like it could have gave me a little bit some. I mean, build up the hype from Across the Spider-Verse. Show me a little bit more Miles doing his thing out there, Bebop and Scott and all over the place. I mean, that would have been a perfect opportunity. But it felt weird. This is where I felt like this feels like a weird part of Summer Game Fest. Like this is the opposite of the hype machine that they were doing so well.
Which is it's so interesting because this is one of the most hyped games. I guess gameplay did come out somewhat recently, so maybe they're like,
Oh, PlayStation Showcase, yeah.
So we're like, here's a date. We don't really have much anymore to show you.
I mean, have the voice actor introduce it. Have Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales introduce it in the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I mean, the good things they've got it is that Venom is not going to be Eddie Brock, which is interesting.
Very
It's
interesting.
a very interesting thing. The goal is to tell original story, and it's Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn all combined into one thing. So that is going to be a huge W in itself, and I cannot wait to do the GTA thing and go back and forth between the two. Pal World, January 2024. They said Pokemon with guns. We've seen this one before, though. We've seen this one.
We have.
Before.
I thought it looked familiar. It looks like fun. I'll try it. I like Pokemon.
Sure.
Add guns. Sure. Yeah.
Sure, why not? Just give
Why
Pikachu a
not?
Glock.
Exactly.
I wonder if Nintendo's like sweating bullets. Like, wait a minute. Okay, is there anything we can do about this? No. Okay. Well.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, they'll find something, and then it'll be like,
Right.
sorry, Pal World's not coming out.
They'd probably go like, "Is that one of ours? No, it looks no. Okay, it looks very.
I don't know.
cool.
The
It's like-
deeper you get into the trailer, the more and more they start looking just like straight up Pokemon.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot at some point on Twitter. I'm like, is that an actual Pokemon? Oh, it's slightly different, but I'm like, that looks way too similar to a real Pokemon.
And yeah, it's not butter free. It's free butter or something like that. You know, a little bit backwards, frutter by or something. You know.
Futterbee.
Yeah, Futterbee
Yeah.
is something completely different, but there it is, Pal World, and looks like they got past legal for that one to come out here. And then we have Land of Morning Lights. This is Black Desert Online's biggest 2023 expansion, June 14th. Lord of the Rings Return to Mora, fall 2023. Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, Banishers, Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which looked pretty cool. That one kind of vibe. I kind of vibe with that one. Kind of vibe with that. I don't mind the fantastical type of combat with the martial arts and things like that, but I wish it stuck more into like remember Stranglehold? Remember that old school game? That was a Chow Yun Fat game, I believe. That one was really cool. I wish it kind of stuck with that. I like the idea of hordes of people that you're fighting, but got that Yakuza vibe. I love Sega. I mean, I
Of
again,
course.
a healthy Sega is a good thing for video games.
Yes.
Any thoughts on this game?
I think it looks great. I know I have a lot of friends that love Yakuza games. I'm very happy for them.
All right, there we go. And then we have Under the Waves, which is a Quantum Dream published game, August 29th. Call of Duty is doing its thing, still ticking with the Season 4 Modern Warfare 2, a new map called Bondle, and that comes out June 14th. They talked about an Xbox. They could take a win by online. Fae Farm, which is another cozy. They use the word.
Cozy.
Comes out September
Cutesy.
8th.
Cute,
Very,
cozy, yeah.
very cozy, very cute type of beat. Marvel Snap continues to tick on. They got a new conquest mode. If you're interested in Marvel Snap, Chloe, I had to give up that game.
I did too. It was
had to give
it was
up that
too
game.
bad. I had to uninstall it and be like,
I
it's
had to
taking
do
too
it.
much of my time. I need to, yeah.
I was like 10 hours a day.
It was
and
bad. Yeah.
it
It was
was-
too much fun.
It was too much fun for me, and when I realized it was bad, I had to. I know Tim's all about it. I don't know what
Yeah.
his stats on it now, but I had to give that up. I was like, this is taking up way too much of my time.
It's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. King Arthur's Legends Rise, mobile PC, Wayfinder, early access this summer, and then you have Star Trek Infinite, and of course we got into now Twisted Metal, the Will Arnett introduction with Samoa Joe, AEW's star, being the body double, and that's going to come out July 27th. Now, Anthony Mackie, of course, is the star of it. Now, here, Captain America. Now, here's the thing about it, though, Chloe, that we already talked about at the beginning of the show. I feel like Peacock's the wrong choice for this show. It should be like maybe a Netflix type of thing to be able to do it, maybe Prime, because Twisted Metal, especially Twisted Metal Black, it's a very demented game considering that all these characters are, I wonder if they're going to do Calypso, but all these characters are all broken people and they all have these terrible pasts, but they all compete in this kind of TV show type of thing. But I don't know, what did beyond what we already discussed, what did you feel about the performances of Anthony Mackie and Samoa Joe and Will Arnett all combined?
It was very weird. I know we briefly touched on it, but yeah, very like CW type vibes. It went on for very long too. I was like,
it did.
Can we shorten it a little bit, like go back to the, like I know it's based on a video game, but like it's just a show. Can we go back to the other things? I don't know. Well, I wasn't a fan, but I hope other people were.
Well, what's so interesting is why not? I mean, you go from Last of Us to HBO or Max. You go from Max Original The Last of Us, and then you see Mario Brothers, and then you go like 5 steps back to Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's like we were on an uphill trend, and then it's like, oh, what happened?
Like, well, wait a minute. We know we could do better. Like,
yeah. What happened, guys?
This is good, but it could be better.
It could be better.
It'd be a lot better if we just gave us a little bit more time to marinate. But
yeah,
the biggest thing about it is Chad is talking about the thong song. Yes, the thong song was in it. I feel that the voice of Will Arnett though feels totally disconnected to Samoa Joe's performance. It felt like Will Arnett is too iconic of a voice to be like, oh, that's not Will Arnett, that's somebody else.
Exactly. It's like it's too much of a disjointed. Well, what's wrong?
That's Lego Batman. That's not Sweet Tooth.
Exactly. Yes.
Why is Lego Batman beating up Captain America here? Slow down.
What's happening?
What's happening here? And then we have Immortals of Avium, July 20th. And then we, the last 2 things, one of them, which is as someone who's, heavy covering Fortnite and things of that sort, I was wondering, why is Fortnite taking forever to come out? And that's when there was a red flag for me that Summer Game Fest didn't have much, because everyone knew what Fortnite was doing because it was leaked and Fortnite announced it. So I was like, why are we holding on to a gameplay trailer? For those who don't know, when Fortnite does a new season, they always release it the night before. So I was like, this doesn't feel like something you would hold on to the last part of the show. That's something like a mid-show type of thing. But it's a whole new season. It's fun stuff. I literally played it for 4 hours already when they released at 4 a.m. I played it for 4 hours.
Love it.
It's really, really cool because Optimus Prime is awesome. And
I'm so excited.
He's really cool. He's a level 100 outfit for those of you interested. And they only released not only him, but they released Optimus Primal in the item shop. So a little bit of the new Transformers movies vibes to it. So
perfect.
Fortnite continuing the Fortnite. I mean,
yeah, I'm so excited. I'll be playing this all weekend, grinding to get that Optimus skin. I have to.
I you know what? I will do anything that I can to help you get Optimus Prime. So he's really cool. 2 things that I wish that the trailer had. 1, I wish they had the OG voice. Peter, they needed to have Peter. They needed to have his voice in there saying Autobots roll out. Yeah. And 2, Stan Bush, The Touch. They needed that song.
Yes, of course. Why
They
would
needed
it built up the hype so much? Like, oh my god, and the nostalgia. It would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect. Last, the grand finale is thank you so much for watching so far. And we were getting through the Summer Games Fest. The reason why I went through it all is because I felt maybe you guys didn't watch the Games Fest yourself, or you didn't get a chance to catch the guys' take. Grand finale was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, early 2024, a 2-disc extravaganza, and PlayStation 5. What
Love
is
it.
your, I guess, vibe on this one?
I am so excited. I loved playing the first remake of 7. So much fun. Been waiting. Oh my god, how many years has it been now?
It's been 3, I think so. I think that was
3?
2020 when Remake came out.
That sounds about right. Okay. Yeah, eagerly waiting for this. Looks super great. I'm so excited. I will be playing day 1.
The one thing I find is like, okay, listen here. I'm gonna have my hand up here. Don't get mad at me, y'all, listeners, viewers. I haven't played a Final Fantasy. Full stop.
That's okay.
Not because,
That's
not
okay.
because I
You're in a
don't want
safe
to.
space.
Not because I don't want to. I would say that this one and then the recent one, 16, that's coming out, gets me very, very excited about diving into Final Fantasy. And I love Cloud, the character, and things of that sort. My thing about it is Final Fantasy VII Remake had the episoded, slotted. Remember that? They were like, we're only going to release a chunk of the game here and there. At first, it was kind of like, that's what you're going to do. But this one seems like it's a full-fledged, bam, 2-disc game. 2-disc in 2023? Are you kidding me?
That's wild. I wonder how big the downloads are.
Imagine buying this game online. You know?
Uh,
It's going to be like at least 400 gigs.
you guys thought Jedi Survivor was bad? Forget it.
That says 300 gigs?
Oh god, I really
No
think,
shot.
I think my PlayStation would explode.
I mean, like just thinking of like the visual fidelity of the first remake, and then very, very slight spoilers for people who didn't play the original Final Fantasy VII. The remake kind of just covered the Midgar section, which is a little bit smaller in the entire Final Fantasy VII game, and then after you get past that is when you really get into kind of exploring the kind of more open area stuff, and I can only imagine how much they're going to expand upon that in Rebirth here, and that's why it doesn't surprise me too much that this is 2 discs, and I don't even know if this is going to be the rest of the 7 story. Like I think there's still a third one that they're gonna do after Rebirth, which is insane to me.
Wild.
Yeah,
Chloe.
I'd be surprised.
Chloe, are you this day one for you? Day one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Yeah.
All right. What's your go-to Final Fantasy?
I play a lot of 14, the
Okay.
online MMO. I love 14.
My,
It's been a while, but yeah.
my only history with Final Fantasy when I used to work at Circuit City, I swear me and Andy are kind of like, I used to work at Circuit City and they sold Final Fantasy with this big brick in the back for the online adapter.
Oh,
It was like a huge box. I don't remember which one that was, but
okay.
that's my only experience with telling people where they are. And that is Summer's Game Fest. I mean, overall, like I said, very disjointed show, very bloated. Once it showed the dev interviews, I felt like there wasn't much here, and it showed why E3 backed out, and maybe they didn't have anything to show. I mean, think about it: Summer Game Fest, PlayStation Showcase, Xbox Showcase, Ubisoft Forward, and all the other ones in the digital Devolver thing. How are they going to be able to do their own thing at E3?
Right. Like, what if there was still anything? What else to show?
And especially with all these games that just recently came out, because I feel like in the past they had a backlog of all these announcements because of the pandemic. And now that everything came out here, Tim said himself as well, like he feels like he's good with the games that he has now. So why do we have any more? But it's wild to me. What would be your out of 5 grade for the Summer Game Fest, Chloe?
Out of
On the
5.
kind of funny scale.
It didn't do too much for me. I would say maybe like 2.5, 3. Just like
That's fair.
something right in the middle.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll totally give that now. I like that. All right, chat and viewers and listeners. Remember, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, let's tell you about our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon and Summer Game Fest. We are in an absolutely stacked year of video game releases, and you can find all of them on Amazon.com/SummerGameFest. I hope that you found a spare few hundred hours to play all the amazing games that have come out this year already. Gamers have been eating good this year, but this is the only place you want to be. Amazon.com/SummerGameFest, because guess what? This summer, there's going to be even more exciting announcements coming through of so many more video games that are about to be on all of your favorite consoles, like Final Fantasy 16, Armored Core 6, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Exo Primal, Assassin's Creed Mirage. The list goes on and on. You can go to Amazon.com/SummerGameFest all summer long to discover the top new and upcoming games as soon as they go up for pre-order, or you can go check out the website now for everything you might have missed so far this year. Again, that's Amazon.com/SummerGameFest for all of your video game needs. Shout out to Shady Rays for sponsoring this episode. Do you want to look as cool as I look? Yes, you do. And you can. You can take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an unbeatable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair that I've ever worn in my life. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. You can wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Exclusively for you listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use the code KINDAFUNNY. You can get 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. You can try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Promo code KINDAFUNNY at shadyrays.com. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. I know this from experience, how often it just seems easier to care about others and to keep it moving. But when we spend all of our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin and burnt out. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Some of my very best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny.
And we are back. Of course, this is SanchoWest alongside Chloe right there. Hey, I'm more than just a person that loves multiplayers and Naughty Dog, things like that. That's what I was just thinking about there is, there's more to me than that. There's more to Chloe than just the funness of the robots and whatnot. We're here. Hi, Chloe. This has been an awesome day, but we're not done yet. We have a lot of the Roper Report to go through because that was the big chunky thing that we had there up there. Number 3, believe it or not. Persona leaks from James Carr at Giant Bomb. 2 new Persona games, Persona 3 Reload, and Persona 5 Tactica have leaked online. Thanks to Atlas posting trailers for both games early. Persona 3 Reload launches in early 2024 on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and Windows, while Persona 5 Tactica releases November 17th on the same platforms. Both trailers indicate that the games will be available via Xbox Game Pass at launch. First up is Persona 3 Reload, which is a remake of Persona 3, which has been multiple versions of Persona 3 over the years, and each version including and excluding variety of features. It's unclear from the trailer if Persona 3 Reload will include everything of the different versions or some aspects of it cut. So yeah, there's another thing of all this being leaked out. The second trailer, of course, is the Persona 5 one. Another spin-off widely popular from Persona 5 is the Persona 5 Tactica. Features more cartoonish look, characters looking more chibi versions of themselves. Trailers leaking everywhere. Both of them were set to premiere officially during the Xbox Game Showcase Sunday, June 11th, based on Xbox branding that appears in both trailers. While these games may not be exclusive to Xbox consoles and PC, no other platforms appear in the trailers. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I feel so bad for the social media manager.
It's always the case. I mean, there's always those times where, leaks tend to happen. I always dislike leaks because it's like there's that little bit of magic during it. And considering that Sunday, which is this weekend, if you're just listening here on this Friday, June 11th, will be the Xbox showcase. In terms of Persona, it looks like it's a continuous trend of remakes and things of that sort. Have you had any opportunities to get into a Persona in the past? And do you feel that how would these games be received for people who don't play Persona?
I have always wanted to. Persona 5 has been on my list for so long. It's just I don't have the time to play a big old JRPG like that. I have seen so many people very excited for Persona 3. I'm so happy for people. It looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I would love to join in, hopefully maybe in like 20 years when I have time to play video games again.
One thing I want to know, though, is Xbox showcases, right, coming down the pipe. PlayStation had its own showcase. A lot of people did not like that one when it came to the overall presentation of it, especially when, Naughty Dog was not there when they had Last of Us Factions. A lot of people thought it would be there. So PlayStation has its thing, and then Xbox came in and said a lot of the games that were announced there will be on Xbox anyway. So my question for you is, we always talked about it's good to have a healthy Xbox. Is this the opportunity where Xbox could turn the tide here with this showcase? Because we always feel like it goes tit for tat when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, but Xbox has been down bad. I remember reading that Street Fighter 6 has just went at first week's launch, 79% of the sales on console, I believe, were for PlayStation. So in the UK. But when it comes to Xbox, how do you think, if you're like sitting there, you're the CEO of Xbox, is this your moment to turn it around?
I do think had it not leaked, it would have been just like, oh, we got everybody. We got Persona. This is how we win. I'm very curious to see what else they have up their sleeves to put themselves over PlayStation. Although I feel like the PlayStation showcase was already not super great, so somewhat of a low bar anyways, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Well, the thing about it is that Xbox right now holds so many cards, and they have yet to use them. We already saw in that interview Phil Spencer that they did on here on Kind of Funny, in the Xbox showcase, on the Xbox podcast that they have. The thing about it was, he was like, we're okay with being in third place, and that's what's so perplexing about it, because that's what Xbox never was. But I think they are so sneaky in how they're setting up so many of these kind of dominoes, and I think this is going to be the first time that you're going to see Xbox show up. Any kind of guesses or wants that you want Xbox to show up with?
I want Dragon Age 4 news. That's what I want. That's how you win me over.
Is that how it gets it going?
That's how it gets it, yeah.
Okay, I see that. That could definitely be that. Of course, it's the Kind of Funny Xcast that you should definitely check it out into. I hope Mike, who is there in Los Angeles, could get what he wants there. I hope to hear Mike's voice, Snowbike Mike. I would like to hear that. So that is happening. The leaks are all over the place, where no one's a fan of a leak, not even in the vegetable soup. Next story that we have here is Devolver Digital's wrap-up from Adam Bankhurst of IGN. I love Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital is by far one of my favorite when it comes to publishers of all these type of games. They find some great games. I'm just going to read a couple here. They have Baby Steps is a new game from Gabe Cuzio, Apes Out, Maxi Bach, and QWOP's Bennett Body, and it stars Nate, a 35-year-old failed son who lives in his parents' basement and hasn't done much with his life. That all changes when one day he gets transported to another world and learns he can walk and put one foot in front of the other. Baby Steps, which is literally a walking simulator featuring a full dynamic onesie toilet system, and will be released on PlayStation 5 and PC in 2024. Now, I saw the Getting Out, right? Getting Out is a huge rage game, and I was talking to Chloe right before we went live, is that I've been playing this game called Only Up, and it's basically like a very janky platformer in a sense, because it kind of feels designed that way, and your job is to go all the way to the top into space, and if you fall, there's no checkpoints. Watching this trailer, for if you're a listener, please look this up. Baby Steps. this looks like the most rage-inducing thing I've ever seen in my life.
100%. But it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Like playing with somebody or playing just the rage and just this sheer just stupidity that comes out of it.
This is what I feel that video games need to have. It rounds us out, right?
Yeah.
It's like that weird kind of A24 movie that people are like, yo, you should really see this movie. And you're like, The Lighthouse comes to mind. I remember my brother-in-law was like, you really should see The Lighthouse. I was like, oh yeah, I love William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I'll go see it. I was like, oh, very bizarre movie. But this is a very bizarre game that I hope that the Kind of Funny guys play it. I really want to see the crew play this game.
Oh,
For sure.
definitely. Mike, Andy, and Nick will go at each other's throats playing this
Good.
together. 100%.
Good. Please look it up. Human Fall Flat was first released in 2016, and No Breaks Games has just confirmed Human Fall Flat 2 is officially under construction. This game promises to be bigger, better, and clumsier sequel to the original, which features new levels, customizable characters, and lets players complete puzzles by themselves up to 7 friends. So that kind of has those vibes to it. The Talos Principle 2, which was first announced in the latest PlayStation Showcase, and the Summer Game Fest gave fans a new look at the sequel, originally from 2014. The one thing about it, this is what I mean. It's like when two things double up back to back, it kind of doesn't have the second impact when it comes to it. I mean, Talos Principle 2 is not my kind of game. I am not as quick-witted and not that very logically thinking when it comes to video games for this stuff. But it's cool. I like the art style of it.
Yeah,
it's like one of those. It's like one of those PC games you accidentally back in the day on those on your Netscape or whatever those old computers. You accidentally click and you're like, "What is this game?" And you're just exploring, and you think it's like a cool game. I remember my uncle had Myst on his computer. And I was just like, what is this game? You don't do
Okay.
Where's the platforming? I'm trying to leave the space station. That's the kind of vibes of that. It's planned for 2023 on PlayStation 5, Xbox XS, and PC. Wizard with a Gun looks really, really cool. This place takes in a world that's slowly being invaded by chaos, and you and your friends need to survive by collecting resources, building up a base, defeating countless enemies, and much more. The game is also filled with different biomes, a ton of powerful loot, and crafting system. Sandbox just waiting to be explored. Wizard with a Gun will be released on PC, and a single-player demo is available now. This looks cool.
It does look very cool. I like the art style of the trailer.
The art style looks cool. There's nothing like an awesome trailer. It's a survival game. It's a angled top down vibe with it. So I kind of like it. I mean, this kind of gives me Cult of the Lamb type beat, but you got weapons and things of that sort. As Barrett is showing our viewers what it looks like. But yeah, very cool game. Very cool game. You fight chaos, chat. That's right.
We have to kill chaos. Do it.
Is that your Gandalf? I love it.
Yeah, that was just a generic whatever voice. It can be whatever you guys want.
Fair enough. Rounding out the Roper Report, all the Diablo 4 fans out there, which is taking over not only the world, but the Kind of Funny folk. The most popular Diablo class, this is going to be from Ali Jones at Games Radar. The most popular class was revealed, and it's a bit of a surprise. Last night, Diablo General Manager Rod Ferguson told fans that right now, the #1 class in Diablo 4 is Sorcerer and Sorceress. He went on to imply that perhaps his marketing team wouldn't be entirely happy with him revealing that information, but it's too late to put the genie back in the bottle. Chloe, have you been seeing these Megan Fox ads that they've had?
I have been. Yes.
They are hilarious.
They're very good. I'm so excited. Can't wait. I'm finally done traveling and everything, guys. I'm gonna finally get into Diablo this weekend.
Nice.
So I don't know what class to pick, so maybe a sorceress. Maybe we'll pick that up.
Maybe. What I do enjoy your streams, I do enjoy when you play these type of games. I remember your run of I believe it was Hades was really fun to watch. That was a very fun stream, the whole thing. And I cannot wait to see what you make when it comes to the memes and so on. But there it is. Diablo 4. So you're the one that's going to be able to play, but there's somebody out there in the world that will not be able to play Diablo 4. And that is Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know what to tell you. Whoopi Goldberg cannot play Diablo 4 because she has a Mac. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Whoopi, take it away. Why can you not play it?
There's a lot of terrible things happening in the world.
There sure is, Whoopi.
It's Instagram's not happy with me.
Oh,
Come on,
no.
Slippy.
Oh, that's
Okay.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
I'm
Oh,
about to tell you, it's not on any scale like that. This is me kvetching about my favorite game, Diablo, which has been taken off of Apple. I use Apple computers. That's what I always used to play Diablo. It's my favorite gaming system. I like doing it on my computer. And suddenly now Diablo 4 is not available to me on my Apple computer. And I already bought Diablo 4. So this is what I'm asking you, Blizzard. Blizzard Entertainment, this is Whoopi. You know how much I love Diablo. I would like y'all to let those of us who use our apples to play, allow us to play on the Apple. Take Diablo 4 and let us do it and have a great time. When you do the next launch, then you can say to everybody, we're not going to have you playing if you're an Apple person who is not going to change to something else. So give me my Apple 4 because I paid for it. I was all excited for it. I went to play on it, and I'm telling you, this really pissed me off. And I love my game. So let me keep my 4, okay? Tell me next time, say we're done on Apple, but let me have the 4. Let me play on the 4 because you made me so excited for it. That's all I'm asking. And for those of you who don't get it, don't listen to me. If you don't play Diablo 4, it doesn't make any sense. Don't spend time telling me how stupid it is.
We got it, Whoopi. Whoopi, all right. Miss Sister Mary Clarence wants Diablo 4, and she has a Mac. Okay, we get it. She will follow him. Do you like Sister Act movies?
Never seen him.
You never seen Sister Act?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so sorry.
Lauren Hills and Sister Act 2. I know we're getting in review for Sister Act. Barrett, tell Tim I said this.
Yeah. Whenever Sister Act 3 finally comes, did that come
100%.
out? Because it got announced a couple of
Probably.
years ago. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. We'll tell Tim.
We'll tell Tim. All right. Well, it looks like Sister Act 3 may be a long ways away, and Whoopi may never be able to play her Diablo 4 on her Apple 4. I don't know what she was talking about. If, Chloe, if I wanted to know what's coming to the mom and grop shops today, where could I look?
You can look at the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah.
Every time I think of 2.5 Men. All right, here we go. Greg Hill Incident is out on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Cat Souls on PC, Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox X, Xbox One. Blaster Beat, PC, Early Access. Airy, The Lost Hero on all Xboxes. And now here is some new dates for you out there. Tekken 8 closed betas next month. Register now. That's going to be so exciting. This comes from Darren Brothhughes at GameSpot. Tekken 8 publisher Bandai Namco has announced that the game will be receiving a closed network test starting July 21st. So, hey, it's fighting game season, baby. FGC is ready to go. We got Street Fighter 6, firing off all cylinders. Mortal Kombat 1's coming back. And, hey, Tekken 8 is still in the building. To participate, you can register now, although it may not guarantee that you'll be able to play to be in this King of Iron Fist tournament. First closed network test will be July 21st to the 24th on PlayStation 5. Second test will be on July 28th, 31st on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. By far, the coolest character in fighting games, King. Cannot go wrong with the luchador wrestler wearing the outfit of a jaguar. It's amazing.
Of course.
King's the
How can you
best.
top that?
It's amazing. Amazing. All right, let's take a look and see if we have any kind of reader mail. Actually, we do. We're going to say that for the end. And of course, let me see. Did we get anything wrong, chat? Let's take a look. Anything wrong? I think we're good, Chloe. Barrett, did we get anything wrong, Chloe? Did we get anything wrong?
I think Jordan Deeb, I think maybe not a year wrong, but just expanding upon, according to Wikipedia, the Mario Brothers movie is already the highest grossing video game movie, but the Pokemon series is the highest grossing series of video game movies. So there you go.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
But do they have guns? Is the question. Pokemon with the guns, because that's coming. Power World, the movie. And starring Keanu Reeves.
gonna be great.
That would be amazing.
It would be.
That would be amazing. All right. All right. I mean, we're the end.
We did it.
Right. We did it. We're at the end, of course. If you wanted to leave reader mail, things of that sort, squad ups, then go to kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Next week's host are Monday. It's going to be Ubisoft Forward, so it's going to be a post show featuring the whole games crew. Tuesday is Greg and Tim. Wednesday, Blessing and Greg. Thursday, Tim and a secret guest. My bet, it's not Whoopi. I don't think we got Whoopi.
I heard it's Stanley Tucci. That's what I
Stanley
heard.
Tucci's a.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
Don't tease me with a good time. Stanley Tucci talking video games. I already love him when
This
he.
is what I heard
explores
on the streets. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I love him when he explores Italy. Fantastic. Friday will be Tim and Greg. Of course, my name is SanchoWest. Chloe, where can people find you and things of that sort?
You can find me on twitch.tv, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere at EchoClo.
And there you go.
Everywhere.
Hey, by the way, fun fact for those of you to know, Chloe and I are probably the only hosts in KFGD history that have been banned from Twitter. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I know that's a weird note to leave off on, but it's because of copyright. Okay. We like to make memes. We are fun, innocent people, and you can find me at Sancho West on all things. If you're a fan of Fortnite, I will be covering all the season of Fortnite. The thing that got me banned was I did a Halo Infinite with I Need a Hero. I'm sorry. It was a good moment. That's the thing that got me banned. Okay.
I don't remember
apologize.
what the last straw was for me. I made too many memes, posted too many TikToks. That's my bad.
License to me. Okay, so hey, Joey and Nick are going to be playing Outlast Trials on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Only on YouTube. And the live stream, we're going to be a 30-minute post show with Barrett doing the super chats and things of that sort. You get to talk to us, me and Chloe, and we're going to have a great time and hang out for that. And of course, we can't do the handshake digitally, but y'all, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday live right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through all the nerdy news, and we ran it all through today. And until next time, Games Daily. Peace.
See ya.
Boop, 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 boop.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Kind of Funny Games Daily post show transition into the stream. Snowbike Mike, Andy Cortez, and Nick Scarpino not Nick Scarpino. He's still somewhere in San Francisco just prowling around looking for a Starbucks because he's just an old lost man looking for coffee. Andy and Mike are down in LA, so I'm here to host the post show with your super chats. If you super chat over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, you can write in, ask questions about any of the news stories that you want us to expand on, just general gaming topics if you want, or just, questions for Sancho and Chloe to get to know them a little bit more. Start off, we had a couple questions. Jordan had wrote in and asked, Spider-Man's 2018 DLC was announced alongside pre-orders for the game. Do you think this means we aren't getting DLC for Spider-Man 2? What do y'all think as more super chats come in over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames?
I feel that the era of DLC being announced early is going to be slowly waning. We see it time and time again, and I think Naughty Dog is a canary in the coal mine, where if you announce something or you say we're going to do something and you don't deliver on a timely manner, the people go ballistic in the sense that they keep you locked into that promise. And I think with Spider-Man 2, they didn't want it to be locked into any kind of promises of DLC. And considering that Wolverine is right around the corner, I don't think Insomniac has enough on the plate. They can't have enough resources to be able to do two. But also as well, the thing that I think that developers are up to is that rather than announce a DLC, they could tend to take that DLC and expand it to what something like Spider-Man Miles Morales could be, which is not a DLC, but it's not a full-fledged game. It's like an in-betweener. And I think Insomniac probably likes that model, and it's probably a very successful model for them, to not necessarily show all their cards immediately. But that's how I feel about it.
Chloe, how about you? Are you going to miss out on more Black Cat DLC for another Spider-Man game?
No, I agree with Sancho. I do feel like they're, instead of announcing too early and not being able to deliver, they're just like, we'll hold off. Maybe we'll get the announcements when the game comes out, or even closer to the actual date. But
Yeah, I think it makes sense, especially like when Spider-Man 2018 came out. That was a couple of years after the Ratchet and Clank like reimagining game, and that was in like a very different spot for Insomniac, because I think Spider-Man 2018 kind of kicked off the hey, Insomniac's gonna work on like 6 games all at once somehow, and because they're magic in some weird way, where it's like 2018, you have Spider-Man 2018, and then what was it, 2020 that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart came out, or is that 2021? I think that was 2021, but for the launch of the PS5, you had Miles Morales, and then they're coming out with Spider-Man 2, and then like you said, Sancho, they're working on Wolverine. I just like the landscape is different, and also just Insomniac's personal landscape is different of how many just full-on games that they're making right now. Yeah, I would be surprised if they're holding on any resources for that. Mr. McAllister's stolen credit card asks...
Credit card?
Yeah.
You got it.
SGF, man, it happened. Showcase season is booming. Does SGF set your expectations for all other upcoming showcases? Thanks for the fun content. Sancho and Chloe, what conference are you most excited for the next few days? The big ones we've got Xbox / Starfield on Sunday. Monday morning we've got the Ubisoft showcase, and then Monday afternoon I think we have Capcom. Those are the ones that I'm aware of. Maybe there's some other ones that I'm not aware of, but yeah, what are y'all looking forward to?
probably Xbox and then Capcom. Fingers crossed for some Resident Evil things.
I agree on both. One, as curious to, is Xbox going to be Xbox of old and say, no, we have plenty of dog in this fight, so to speak, plenty of gas in this tank, so to speak, to be able to contend with PlayStation on a different front. Because I always feel that the music industry kind of leads the way to what all the other industries are going. So the music industry, we're all in the streaming world and we stream everything. I can't remember the last time I bought a CD or anything, or digitally or anything like that. I just go into Spotify and I listen to the artists and their new work. So if Xbox could become that with Xbox Game Pass and leave PlayStation behind in a future generation, then it starts like now, because already there's a lot of doubt with Xbox. So that's why I'm watching Xbox just closely. And the thing about Capcom is no one's really talking about it, but Capcom is popping off right now. Like, they're really doing really good, and they haven't done, like, Monster Hunter was a great Monster Hunter World was a great game. Street Fighter 6, which is great, and then all the Resident Evils, they are just doing some good things. And if they can continue that momentum, Capcom is definitely going to be one of those things that, if Xbox goes through with the acquisition of Activision, PlayStation should really consider getting Capcom if they can. Somebody needs to, because Capcom's popping off.
Wow. That's a big claim, a big ask there for for PlayStation. Going over to the super chats, just a reminder, you can super chat over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, or what's the Twitch equivalent? Throwing up the bits. If you subscribe at the tier 1 level, and you also have a question, that all gets added today's stream bar goal. I think at if we hit 10 monthly goals right now, the boys are gonna do a long Zelda stream where Nick Scarpino is gonna play, I think, maybe his first ever Zelda game with Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe he's played some of the older ones. I'm not entirely sure. And so that'll be a fun time. It's going to be very similar vibes to the Star Wars Jedi Survivor streams, where we had Nick dressing up as shirtless Kylo Ren doing karaoke.
That was something.
It was a chaotic stream, and if you want that same vibe, but for Zelda, maybe Nick Scarpino ruined some of your favorite childhood Zelda music by writing lyrics to some of it. Who the hell knows? But if you fill up that bar with your super chat, or help fill up that bar with your super chats, and subscribe over on Twitch, that'll get us closer to that very, very chaotic stream. That Mario Rivera sent us a super chat saying, "I love you all." We love you too, Mario Rivera.
Oh yeah, it's about Mario.
And then also the Portland Kevin asked, favorite UPN shows? 7 Days, Fastlane, Voyager. So I'm unfamiliar with UPN. I had to look up some of the programs from UPN. A lot of the original stuff I'm not familiar with, but it also lists like Everybody Hates Chris and Star Trek Voyager, which I'm unsure of. Sancho, I'm going to toss this over to you because I feel like you're probably the most knowledgeable when it comes to UPN shows, because you're somewhere in that Nick Scarpino, just a very old man kind of category here.
Okay.
Sancho, what is your favorite UPN show?
Oh, easy. WWE SmackDown. There was nothing like having WWF on UPN. It was a totally different vibe, and they got away so much. So that's going to be my pick. I mean, that was when The Rock was very just taking off Triple H. UPN SmackDown was definitely different. That was the only reason why I watch UPN.
Wow. Chloe, do you know, can you name, outside of the 3 shows that were just named, can you?
I did have to look this up because I wasn't sure. There's very, very few. I've seen Recess, and I've seen the animated Sabrina show.
I didn't realize that there was an animated Sabrina show.
Yeah, I thought that was a fever dream of mine. I guess it did really exist.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, so I was right. 1999, 2006, WWF SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with any. They've got a lot of drama, some comedies here.
Beetleborgs was on there, huh? Beetleborgs?
Okay.
Oh,
That's a name I'm familiar with for sure. Sancho.
Recess.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Recess. Recess was also a Disney. I thought that was a Disney.
It was they were allowed to be on UPN.
Okay. Sancho, Chloe, to kind of wrap things up here as we get into our final minutes of the Games Daily Post Show, going into the live stream over with Nick and Joey, who are going to play the Outlast Trials. Who will get scared first? Will they go at each other's throats? Very likely. I imagine by the end of that stream, Nick Scarpino will no longer be with us, as Joey will probably get mad at him and mess him up a little bit. What is your most anticipated game for the rest of the year? We've already had some really big hits with Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, obviously Tears of the Kingdom, surprise smaller games like Hi-Fi Rush, but we still have such a big year ahead of us. We are halfway through the year pretty much. Chloe, what is your most anticipated game from here on out?
Oh God, I'm trying to think of what else is coming out, because this year was mostly, I think, looking forward to Jedi Survivor, and now I've had that.
I'll take this one we'll give you some time. Oddly enough, I know we've had some of the big ones. We talked about October being so stacked. I really am looking forward to Alan Wake too. The thing about it is there's not going to be a lot of games that contend with Game of the Year anymore at this point. I mean, it's going to be a race between Diablo and Legend of Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom. But Alan Wake is something I'm really looking forward to. But personally, I'm really looking forward to the AEW game. The AEW wrestling game looks really, really good. It's a throwback to WWF No Mercy. And I just like the idea of they boldly made a choice to go back to that Yuke style. It's actually Yuke's is making it. And the last one I'm really looking forward to playing is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. That game looks so cool. I was unable to get in the playtest, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre looks like one of those throwback to Friday the 13th. And I like the asymmetrical multiplayer. And for those of you that don't know, I love multiplayer. So I would always cherish that in my heart and play that. So those are the three. But video games are awesome. I love playing them all.
I totally forgot Final Fantasy 16. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's like, is that this month?
That's soon. That's either
Christ.
this month or next. Yeah.
God, time's going by so fast. Yeah, I think
that RoboCop game too. That RoboCop game looks sick.
Yeah, some previews dropped for that. I didn't look too deep into it, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you're excited for a RoboCop game. Yeah, I'm trying to think for myself. Like, I think a lot of the rest of this year is kind of cooled down for me, which is actually kind of nice. Not a huge Diablo action RPG kind of guy. If it's not Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like, I don't really care. Obviously, Spider-Man 2 is going to be a big hit for myself. I'm interested in Final Fantasy 16. Not as into the more like active combat for Final Fantasy, as I'm more into the more turn-based stuff for the recent releases, but I do want to give it a shot. It does seem like the story is very interesting.
Chat saying Starfield.
I was talking about this on my personal stream last night, is that I'm not a huge main Bethesda studio guy. And I think I was like a little bit too young for Fallout 3 to like really like pay attention to that when that came out. So I played Fallout 3 late, didn't love it because it felt a little bit aged at the point that I had played it. When Fallout 4 came out, I did really enjoy that. Shout out to my boy Nick Valentine, who's the droid investigator dude. Made that game just feel like a cool like futuristic 1920s kind of PI story a little bit, and it was rad as hell. But then like Fallout 76, I was kind of whatever on. New Vegas, I know that's not the main Bethesda studio. Elder Scrolls is definitely not my thing, and so it's like, I don't know, like I'm interested in Starfield, but I'm not like frothing at the mouth like this. Well, like Snowbike Mike says, like this needs to be the big win for Xbox. It's like maybe I'll get into it, and maybe it'll like kind of scratch that kind of big Western RPG like itch for me. But I don't know, it's not like a big anticipation right now. What about you, Sancho and Chloe?
Chloe?
I'm right there with you. I've never really gotten into the Bethesda games. Like I've tried, and I'm just like, I don't think they're for me. So yeah, Starfield, it could be interesting. I like the setting. It could be fun. Maybe it'll change how I feel about the main Bethesda games, but I'm not frothing at the mouth for it.
I think it's just because we've had so much, and I think the backlog of video games now, like this year, if you like literally Game of the Years would have been in fall, and then they would have all been fighting for the fall, but we've had Game of the Year contenders almost throughout the entire year. And it's just as crazy because last year it was just an Elden Ring, God of War, right? It was like a 2-horse race right there for the Game of the Year. This year there's literally maybe three or four. I don't think Spider-Man 2 is going to be. It's going to be good. It's going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year contender.
I think it'll be a contender. I don't know if it's going to get a lot of like wins, but like Insomniac Games, I think regularly gets recognized whenever they come out with a game of like, hey, this is a highlight of the year. Maybe not the tippy top highlight, but they usually get the love. Like Spider-Man 2018 was nominated for Game of the Year at the Keeleys. Obviously didn't. I think that was one that like they didn't even go home with any award, but I think it'll get recognized a lot, at least in the nomination kind of bracket there.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think anything tops Zelda. I'm gonna be honest. I know people really love that Diablo. I know people really I know it's a really popular hot take opinion to hate on Zelda right now because it's obviously like the biggest thing to come out this year. But honestly, I think Zelda's gonna kind of sweep up in a lot of ways. Kind of similar to like I personally liked God of War more last year, but it was kind of obvious when Elden Ring came. Like it was Elden Ring's year last year, so but that's just my take. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody who's been watching live, thank you all so much for joining us for the Kind of Funny Games daily post show transition into the gameplay stream. One more time for the kids watching live. Sancho, where can people find you?
You can find me at all things Sancho West on Twitch, on YouTube, things like that. My main focus right now in terms of content is on TikTok. If you like TikTok, like I said, I uploaded 21 content for the new season of Fortnite. So if you're interested in what that is and what is new and what is, if you want to get into it, got 21 on TikTok, so check it out. And this has been really fun. I'm really thankful for the opportunity. I know I don't know if Greg's watching out there, but thank you so much for hollering at me. And I appreciate
he's too busy yelling at Jeff Grubb on the SGF floor, which is fucking hilarious. And of course, Jeff Grubb is just a chaotic little boy from Ohio.
What's so funny is Jeff Grubb, when I came out to the set in San Francisco, when I went to the studio in spare bedroom, and I said, yeah, when is Factions? And he said, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Now I know why. Now I know why.
Yeah, you're getting people's hopes up. You're getting people's hopes up. Chloe, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, if that's your thing. I echo Chloe. You'll find me mostly on Twitter, just tweeting about random memes, hopefully not getting sniped by the Twitter gods again. Otherwise, I'll be on Twitch. I'm finally gonna jump in at Diablo 4 and maybe not spend all of my time crocheting.
Oh my God,
Make
that bee
something
is a
from
little
Diablo.
adorable. What's the inspiration from the crocheted bee?
They're just cute and easy to make.
Okay, because it reminds me of a
That's it.
particular like art style for some reason for a particular show, but it's not the name of it. It's not coming to mind, but
Okay.
very adorable, very adorable.
Yeah.
So please follow them. They're great people. We love having them around when they can make the time for us. Everybody watching live, thank you so much for joining us for Games Daily, the post show. And now we are going to transition over to Joey and Nick playing the Outlast Trials. That's going to be, I'm sure, a really fun and chaotic time for y'all. Twitch, if you're watching here, stick around. You got nothing to worry about, nothing to do. Over on YouTube, there's a new link for you that should be up, and then once this stream ends, it should hopefully, if the back end of YouTube works, just kick you directly over there. Does redirect work every time? I don't know. Let me know. I've been trying to figure it out and trying to see if the numbers actually add up to redirecting people. So, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, thank you all so much. And until next time, it has been our pleasure to serve you.